Hello, straight
Hello,
okay.
everyone.
Hello, hello, okay.
Hello, hello, everyone.
Everyone,
So,
konnichiwa.
today, today we'll perform. Isa na yung task, Lor?
Task
Task 6,
6.
ba? Task 6, ba?
Performing the task 6, which is the join Windows 10 to the main Windows server. Okay, let's go. Itong unang buhaton.
Naming the computer to something
So,
that
ano
the
to?
domain
Na,
controller is powered
dito
on.
sa
Yo,
RB.
open na to manager.
O ba na?
Tapos, it,
And our
Tira
Windows
ng,
10 connected
tira
to the
ng doha
same
kakaan.
network. So if you need
uh,
to use my NAT network
Machine. Okay na.
tapos,
that I'm using, just make sure that whatever you're
virtual
using is the
manager.
same.
Asa man hindi
So right
open ang
here I can
virtual
see that
manager?
my Windows 10 VM is on a NAT
I-check nyo mga
Ay,
network.
kane.
and if I click
Kana, ipon-check.
Nagpapakita ron.
Kana.
over here
Ipon-check
the
nyo
domain controller,
kung
this domain
asa
controller
tong domain di ganit draken. Muna tong domain. Ana tong
Dili,
domain.
muna yung domain. Ano
is
muna
Okay.
yung
connected to
domain.
a NAT
Tapos, muna
network.
yung,
So we need to match that. Right click on the Windows 10 VM,
I-match daw na to ang kuan.
tapos,
Windows
match
10
ang
sa
and go
domain.
to
not net,
settings,
not,
Oh,
and
not
I'm going to go down
network.
to network.
Okay
And
na,
under the
match na.
attached to, I'm going to change it to NAT network. And
Match
we're
na.
going to
not.
select my NAT network.
Siya, tanawin sa
Not
settings ko
network.
daw. Not network na.
Oh, not network.
Siya, settings daw. Di na ako maklaro mo ba? Right click settings. Yeah, network.
Yeah, network. Dra.
Not network na. Okay. Okay, go.
And
Tawag ko
click
na.
OK.
Tama
And now
na.
we can just verify that they're on the same network. So
The same network na sila, Ken.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
just look at this. I can see NAT network, and it's my NAT network. I click on the Windows
Explain
10
lang.
VM,
Explain
NAT
ko siya.
network, and it's selected to my NAT network. So now what we need to do is pop over to our Windows 10 VM
Windows 10 daw VM.
and go ahead and reboot the VM.
Okay.
Anytime you make a
So,
hardware
I-reboot daw. Ano na i-reboot? The change na, wala mo tayo i-change na. Wala mo na tayo i-change.
ala.
So, di na tayo mag-reboot. Or
settings
i-reboot na lang
change
nimo.
on a VM in VirtualBox, you want to go
Ala,
ahead and
na-reboot.
restart the VM to let the changes take effect.
Ala.
I-reboot pa nimo na. Dili na.
Pwede na. Mo naman eh.
Wala mo tayo
So we'll
i-change, di
wait for
ba?
the VM to boot back up, and then we'll rename the
Ala.
computer
Tayo
and
change.
join it to the domain.
Para mag-CMD na
Na-check
pula
sa
na
nidan
siya.
sa last na task.
Not wanting to read, and a lot of times that allows it. Now I'm gonna hit the start button in the bottom left hand control and F, and it should. So I'm
Asa na
just gonna
siya?
minimize it and
Windows
drag it like
10?
this. And a lot of times that allows it to resize the resolution. There we go. We can see the dynamic resolution is now working. So I'm
CMD
gonna
man
hit
ata ni
right
siya
control
next.
and F and go into full screen mode.
TMD.
And now
Search
I'm gonna hit the
TMD.
start button in the bottom left hand corner, and I'm gonna type in CMD. The first thing we need to do
Ah,
is open command prompt and make sure that we're on the same network as our domain controller.
Nag-config
You're
sila.
gonna see we're
Para
gonna hit
kita nila ang kuhan. Others. Same ba daw? Yan. Loading. Loading.
169 auto configuration IP.
Nanininig kalagan
And
to
what that means is that we're not
gig na RAM sa
So ito yung mag-2 gig o yung mag-8 gig ba ito mo? Or G3? Ay, G9. Or
9 ang pikas tapos to ang eh, ako kay kaon.
Mag-IP config naman sila diri.
IP config ba to? IP config.
Lumok mo na electric. Electric fan.
Not sure if that's because we just booted up the machine. It should be grabbing an IP address from the NAT network HTTP. But what we're going to do is run this again. Okay, so now that I run IP config again, we just took a moment.
IP, run up the sub. Okay, run up the sub.
Nasa na? Ay, nasa na ka?
Tara.
Ay, okay na?
Reaching the DHCP server
Ikuha na
now.
ko yung
I'm
checkpoint
not
yung
sure if
malunggan.
that's because we just what we're going to do is
Nagkuha na,
restart
nagtugma na.
0.268.0 box.
Ay,
VirtualBox
nagtugma ba?
the NAT network only assigns IP addresses in the 10 subnet regardless of what your network actually is. So what we're going to have to do is change this IP version 4 manually. Okay? Now, if we had the DHCP server role
I-change
installed
man
on our
natin ninyo
Windows
kung
server
dili
So
mo.
we
on
have
our
a
NAT network, DHCP server,
10.0.2.7
but
IP
static
address,
IP address.
but
So on the
that's not
button,
on the same network as our domain controller, which
now
is
we're
on
going to click on change adapter
192.168.1.
options.
This is a problem with VirtualBox.
So dato
VirtualBox
ilang
DHCP
dapat
server
pareho?
does not recognize
Here
what
at the bottom
we call
yet. So we're going to have to settle for setting a static IP
the
address.
NAT network
So in the
only
bottom left
assigns
corner,
IP
click the start
addresses in
button,
the 10
and we're going to
subnet,
click the settings over
regardless
here.
of what your network actually is. So what
And
we're
we're going
going
to
to
go
have
to
to do
network and
is
internet.
change this IP version
Now we're
4
going to
key.
click on
Okay?
change adapter options here at the bottom.
Ang-change pa tani? Asa
Pre,
maabot? May tama.
wala ko
May
bala kung
tama ani.
mag-change yun ito.
Issue
May
we'd be
tama
able to
ani.
turn off the
Kaning 1 or
DHCP
2?
server on our NAT network and use the Windows
Ilan naman
server
eh,
as
ilan
a
na din, ilan na
DHCP
din, wait
server.
lang.
But we haven't done
Now,
that
if we
yet, so
had
we're going to have to settle for setting a static
on
IP
a
address.
Windows
Ang
server,
to nga nata ang dapat basihan.
we wouldn't
Bro,
have this issue. We'd be able to turn
So
off
in the bottom left corner,
server on our NAT network.
ano yung
now
motor
we're going to
dili?
click on change.
But we
I'm going to select Internet Protocol version 4 and choose
Nasa lagi
properties.
pang remove po
And
siya.
I'm going to specify an IP address. So I'm going to select use the following IP address. 168, and I'm just going to assign it to .100. We could use
Tama na na
anything
IP address?
except for
Saan
.0
pa kabalo?
as the last
Ansa?
subnet. We couldn't use
Tama na ka
.0
na
because
itong
that's
IP
our network
address.
ID.
Wala,
And we
ataro
couldn't
na tanaw
use
na.
10 because our domain
we haven't
controller is
done
using
that
10.
yet, so we're going to have
And
to
we can't
settle
use
for setting
255
that
because that's the
address.
broadcast IP.
So in the
So we
bottom
could
left
use
corner,
anything
click the start
in
button,
between
and
1
we're going to
and
click the settings.
254.
Okay, okay. Ito?
Ano ko lang.
Ping IP address for the Windows
Oh,
server.
10, 10,
So pag amo
10,
na siyang
oh,
i-ping,
10.10.5
then
sila.
ma-fetch na mo ma-ping na mo
Asa na?
ang
Ang
katong Windows
asa na?
server
Tama no, tama no.
Oh, wait lang. Ya,
na
giping Manila.
virtual machine. So goods na may ani na part which is di namin mag-need og
Change.
configure o
And we're good at
change sa
network.
IP address kay naka-connect naman siya.
Now we're
So
going to click on
head ka
change.
sa katong part
Ito ko na-click.
na
Nag-ping sila. Kung ma-ping kayo mo, tama na to.
configure sa Windows server. So pag amo na 10.10.10 which is kanini mo ang katong nakaset na IP address for the Windows server. So pag
Tapos network something. Network and internet.
Napag-sabtan mo ko na ito yung ipayaw mo. Lutang mo.
Manually. Okay. Now, if
Adapter
we had the
option here at the
DHCP
bottom.
server role installed on our Windows Server
And
domain
we'll right
controller,
click on
we
Ethernet
wouldn't
and
have this
properties.
issue. We'd be able to turn off the DHCP server
And
on our
I'm
NAT
gonna
network and use the Windows Server as a DHCP server. But we haven't done that yet, so we're going to have to settle for setting a static IP address. So in the bottom left
Ano na
corner,
to?
click Net. Not sure if that's because we just booted up the machine. It should be grabbing an IP address from the NAT network DHCP. But
uncheck
what we're going
IP
to do is,
version
let
6.
me just
We're
run
not
this
using that.
again.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
select
now that I run
Internet
IP
Protocol
config
version
again,
4 and
it
use
just took a
properties.
moment. Now we have a
And I'm gonna
10.0.2.7 IP address, but that's not on the same network as our domain controller, which is on 192.168.0.1. This is a problem with VirtualBox.
specify
VirtualBox, the
I'm gonna
DHCP
select
server,
the
does
following
not
IP.
recognize what the
Okay, and we're
default
just gonna
gateway
give
is
it
or what the network ID is.
192.168.0.
The NAT network only assigns
That's what my
IP
NAT network.
addresses in the 10 subnet.
And I'm just gonna
Subnet.
Di pag-click.
Dito sa Picas, gigiping lang nila. Kaya tama naman daw. Pareha man po tag IP address sila. 10.10.10.5.
siyang i-ping
Tapos giping nila ang 10.10.10.10. Apat ka 10.
Wait lang.
and
Ah.
ma-fetch na mo ma-ping na mo ang katong Windows server na virtual machine. So goods na may ani
Identified
na
network.
part which is
Saka.
di namin mag
Wait lang.
Listen
Regardless
mo.
Adapter 1,
net
adapter 2.
is on turn off yet. So we're
Must
going
only
to click
adapter. Okay,
internet,
okay.
and since we're not using that, I'm going to select Internet Protocol version.
Dahil ping na nato daw. Dahil ping daw.
Asa yung IP address ito na to Picas? 10.
Tama ba ne? Tama naman eh. Tama ba ne?
Oh, kano ilang giping. Pero na naman po ila diretso na taguro.
need og
Change.
configure
Connect na
change
ne.
sa IP address kay naka-connect. So
Incorrect na ne.
head ka
Legit.
sa katong part na
Sure ba?
Assign to that one. We can use anything
yang
except for
Nagtanong ko silang video.
as the last one. We could use
yang
dot zero
gi
Hindi, tanong ko itong kan
connect
and we
sa
couldn't use
ang
10
task
because
lang.
our domain controller uses 10.
ang
And we
Windows
can't use 255 because that's the broadcast IP.
For
So we can use
0
anything
dot 0
in between 1
understand
and
the
254,
default gateway or dot 50 server that
excluding
is
10.
on your network.
So what I'm just going to use is dot 100. If
Or
I
dot
press
10.
tab,
We're gonna hit
it will
close. Okay,
autocomplete.
so now we're on the same
subnet
network. We could
Now, this
try
Yes,
is
ano,
and
Blur?
ping the
mathematically
domain controller,
calculated
Bigla
but
based on
nagping
the
pa sila
Windows
direct sa
firewall is gonna
video na
block
ko.
that on
Ay,
the domain
video sa
controller.
guide.
By default, you used to be able to ping it. I'm gonna get a reply here because I have enabled it, but more than likely you will get
Ano to,
a
6
time.
minutes and 20, ay 6 minutes banda Ken. 6:20.
20, 620 na dapat ha?
Oo, ato, tanawa, giping na niya.
Now, 9 times out of 10, if we go back to our command
Back.
prompt,
So
here,
basically, what
the
you're gonna
default
see,
gateway
if I just try
that
and
was
ping an
assigned
IP
by
Hindi mo
address
gano'n
of
to,
default
bro.
is
Kailangan to.
what
Generally,
you're gonna
that
see
is your
something like
router
this,
paano
where it's just
handaan?
gonna say trying to ping,
So
and
if
then
you have
it'll
a
say
switch that
destination
you
host
connect
unreachable,
to,
or it'll
would
just
input
we're gonna
that
go
IP address
again
here.
under,
It's not
and we're
always
gonna
dot
choose
1,
system
it could be dot
alt
10
here
or
at the
dot
bottom,
20 or dot 50.
and we're gonna choose rename this PC.
Kasi,
And right now it's
IP dire, Lur, sa Ethernet 1.
Sa internet one.
Hmm.
Ano na pagkabalo?
set this desktop
Dili na to, 10.10.10.
dash, and I think
Tama
that's
ning 10.10.10. Wait lang.
Ah,
Wala.
ay walay,
Ah,
kasi
da.
walay default gateway ano yung ginamin dila.
Dili.
Windows 10
Saan
sa
ako?
domain so
System.
about tama
Ano yung about it?
Ina.
bayad and og
Change.
configure o
Katong
change
man
sa
isa
IP
ka
address
adapter ba?
ay ang
Sa
asa
hindi mo
ang
guro na.
Windows Server. So since amo
Only
naka-connect na siya,
adapter.
so try na to ping ang Windows Server which is ping
Fing.
sulod sa amo ang default gateway. And then ang sa
Lagi. Basta ni adapter lagi ni. Itong isa ka adapter to. Alright, ha? Okay. Check sana ako. Nasa ko check, Lur.
Ah,
Sa cell. Sa phone na lang ako. Sa phone na lang ako. It lang. It lang. Open ako to isa ka network.
dito ko nasa Pecas, mana yung ginamin? Dito sa domain, sa na ko.
It lang. Apa sih? Naman ni. Mode ni lo. Tamade.
Tama na no? Tama na san? Naping na, di ba? Di man, pag mali man, pag di man daw maping kayo, magkuhan mo, disconnect from host.
Sige. Natadapit ka na.
6 minutes and kuhan, mag-rename na to. 6 minutes lang and 10 seconds somewhere na dyan.
video
6
na
minutes
source
na.
kay
Wait lang.
that's like a serial number. It's randomly generated. What we're going to type in is ITF for IT Flee, and then WS for
Now we have
workstation,
a 10.0.
and I'm just going to call it 01. So IT Flee
But
workstation
that's
01.
not on the same network.
And we'll click next.
Now, if we had the case,
And it's going to say you need to restart your computer. I'm going to say restart later. Generated. What we're going to type in is ITF for IT Flee, and then WS for workstation, and I'm just going to call it 01. So IT Flee workstation
Rename na to
01.
token.
And we're going to choose rename this PC.
Rename.
And right now it's set to this desktop dash, and I think that's like a serial number. It's randomly generated.
remember our domain
So,
And we're
ito
going to
ka
choose
set
system.
Windows settings na system.
Then we're going to go down.
That's lang. Settings, no?
To about
Settings.
here at the bottom. And we're going to
Tapos,
choose
Yes.
rename this PC. Go down to about here at the bottom. And we're going to choose system.
Ay, system dara.
tara, system.
Dara.
We're going to go down to
Yeah.
about here at the bottom.
System, click do.
And we're
Click the system, yeah, about. Nasa baba.
going to choose rename this PC.
Nasa bot.
Lagyan ni.
Nasa bottom. Dili, sa left. Scroll down sa left.
Sunod.
Tara, about.
About.
So if I try to
Then rename. I-rename
And
nila.
right now it's set to this desktop dash, and I think that's like a serial number.
timeout. So basically what you're going to see, if I just try and ping that because it's not valid, what you're going to see something like this, where you're trying to ping, and it'll say destination doesn't reachable, or it'll just say time, what's timeout. Okay, so now that we're on the same network, what we're going to do now is try to rename the computer, then we're going to join it to the domain. So again, under settings here, I'm just going to close out of this in case you lose yours. We're going to hit the start button, and we're going to click settings on the left side, and we're going to choose system.
It's randomly
Then we're
generated.
going to
Ano
go
ko
down
sa system,
to
lo?
about, here at
F
the
for
bottom.
IT Flee,
Wait lang.
and then
And we're gonna
WS
choose
for workstation, and I'm just going to call it
rename.
01. So I
Right now it says
Okay na to, Camille
Kasi,
Salazar.
pangalan na ni.
Ito ang apelido,
We're gonna
tapos
type
workstation
IT,
01.
It's WS for workstation, and I'm just going to call it 0.
Hours. Okay, ato ang apelido.
Okay, print
Basta
screen na po
caps
na.
lock, dili.
So, wala.
Ako na yung caps lock, pura.
Yeah.
Run.
Negative workstation 01. Ayan, print screen na ito po, sure ball. Ayan na print screen.
And it's
Napansin
gonna
na?
say you need to restart your computer. I'm going to say restart later. Next, we're going to go to connect to workforce. And down here at the bottom, we're going to say connect.
Restart
na.
later.
And again, at the bottom,
Ah,
there's
sunod na to?
alternate actions. And we're going to say join this, say restart later. Next, we're going to go
Yes lang.
connect.
Pinag-log
Connect.
ng print
Connect.
screen.
Workstation 01.
Asa may
And we'll
connect
click
na.
next.
Next. Wait lang, nagmapas pa ako sa video.
And you need to restart your computer.
Asa connect
I'm
ano
going to
lor?
say restart later.
later.
Next, we're going to go to connect to
Restart
work
later.
or school.
Work
And
or
down here at
school.
the bottom, we're
Muna
gonna
na
say
itong
connect.
organization na ni problema.
Ano, repeat na eh.
And again, at the bottom, there's an alternate
Connect to work or
actions,
school.
and we're going to say join
Join
this device to
Oh,
a
the bit.
local Active Directory
Ito ang
domain.
sulat ng video.
Because that's what we have set up. It's local on this network, and we're going to join it to a domain.
Atong
the domain is called
domain na ang ato, di ba?
Connect to work or school.
Na may other
And then
option.
click next.
Bulan? Bulan?
Ano, repeat ano
So the domain is domain,
Wait lang.
because that's what we have.
Set up. Wait
Have
lang.
say,
Saan yan?
join
Click
this.
ko na.
And
Wait lang. Nabanti ko ngayon.
down here at the
Change.
bottom,
Change
we're
mo
going to
garo.
Connect. Connect, di
To
ba?
use.
Tara. Wait lang, nawala ko na.
And down here at the
Ang
bottom,
picture sa mo. Ako ba? Tara, may balik na. Ay, nawala na po. Ano man?
we're going to say connect.
Nawala sa kuan sa obvious yung imong gilive. Pero nagko kay gilive good.
Ano? Wala deh.
connect.
Aha.
Sige na, balik daw. Connect. Asan to?
Wala may connect dere, may connect dere.
Wala na connect dahil. Nasa access works.
Ala.
Ano yung gipindot? Dapat ba?
Next, we're gonna go to connect.
Ay, sa about,
tapos,
sa, taas daw?
wala man.
Wala lagi.
Wala man.
Rename PC. Na mas baba sa rename PC, di ba?
Earning PC ganyan.
Dito, baba daw. Wala. Wala daw, wala daw.
Wala. Eh, tunder eh.
Check na ako sa uban.
Magkakawag.
And again, at the bottom, there's an alternate actions, and we're going to say join this device to a local Active Directory.
Ano may join this something.
Domain, because that's what we have set up. Local on this network, and we're going to join it to it. The domain is called it.com.
Access work in school
Next.
or school day.
I-search na lang Kent sa
And
find
this-
settings
this we
access in work school.
Kaya na setting, sa mga access,
Work school.
works.
Katong nasa
Kaya-
video na ito.
Ala.
Ito nasa video
Tara.
sa to. Pero
Access work or school. Oh, doon eh. Access work or school.
wala na, di ba? Ito nasa
Tara.
video.
Tara.
Connect ba?
To work or
Tapos,
Yeah,
school.
pa sa
Connect.
video na ako.
And down here at the
Connect.
bottom, we're gonna say connect.
Then,
Connect, no?
connect. Yes.
And again at the bottom, there's an alternate actions, and we're gonna
May
say
alternate
join this
Naman
actions.
device to a
Medyo ko basa-basa sa gilid ba? Naman, accounts ba na yun nga? Ipagitara sa... Wait lang, loading.
Diyan, loading na or ako lang? Okay, loading.
Loading.
Nawala na po sa phone screen.
Dako, matono. Si CS. Tatay, dako na dito.
Limot ko ito na. Ito to.
Sure na ba?
I-type na ko to sa to klase akong gi-print screen. Ano ito akong gi-print screen last. Atong pangalan ay i-rename PC man to. Ano na PC?
Ay, ra. Join this device to a local something. Tama, no?
Ay, sana ng video ngayon.
local active
Local
directory domain.
Local
Because
active
that's what we have set up.
domain.
It's local on this network, and we're gonna join it
Done.
to a domain.
And again, at the
So the
bottom,
domain is
there's
called
an alternate
itfleet.com.
actions. We're going to say join this device to a local Active Directory domain, because that's what we have set up. It's local on this network, and we're going to join it to it. So the domain is called it.com.
And I'm gonna click next.
Ito?
And this,
since we got this pop-up
wala
saying
din.
since we
enter
got this
Domain
pop-up
name.
saying enter your account to verify you have permissions
Wait.
to connect to the domain,
verify you have
this means that we are connected to the server. If
This
we were
means that
not
we are
connected to
connected
the domain controller,
we
we
were
would
not-
not get this message. It
Ala.
would say it was
Ala.
Kung wala daw
This
ta naka-connect kay dili daw mo gawas.
CS? Si CS to, CS.
May
This
lang
is-
na kung dili ta
not
mo
connected
connect.
to the domain.
This
This
CS,
means
no?
a pop-up saying
Ito,
enter your
lag.
account.
Si
And
CS.
this, since we
Tama
got
ba?
this pop-up saying enter your account to
Tayo
verify
lang.
you have permission
Amina mo
Sige
ko
daw.
sige daw iter
to
dahil
connect to
sige.
the domain,
Yeah,
this means that we
sigurado.
are connected to the server. If we were not connected to
If
the
you were not
domain
connected,
controller, we would not get this message. It would say it
dito ta makakuha message na makakuha na permission.
was unable to find it or unable to resolve it.
Next, no?
Sige daw, try daw. Dapat na turo mo na. Alam mo to, sa pangalan sa itong domain. At lateral itong past video daw. Sige na banda.
Sa tas
Plus 5 or...
not connected to the domain
What?
controller.
Ba't yung dot Kent katong parela ko?
sana may dat.
Itong sa tumoy ba to?
Ba. Doroy. Man,
Hindi pwede. Hindi pa sa itong domain dahil. Ito lang, task 4 ba to? Task 5. Tara akong video.
That's if say was unable to find it or unable to resolve it. Also, under the IP version 4 settings, if we do not specify the correct DNS server, it also would not be able to resolve IP account. So I'm going to type now. Okay.
Kung yung ay check daw ang ano daw ang CMD ano.
I-search daw ang domain. Ma-search mo ng domain sa Windows settings.
Domain kay kuan hit lang.
Kung yung ay check daw ang ano daw ang CMD ano. Server.
CCS lagi.
01. And then uncheck niya atong
Tama lagi to Lord CCS.com.
between
Moto.com.
sa ano.
Okay. Nani sa tong IP Lord?
CS.
Kaya to balik.
CS lang or admin?
Katong gi-uncheck. Wala na to gi-follow. Iba na to gi-uncheck sa video.
Check. Repeat.
Sa summary sugod.
192.net menu issue. I'm gonna click on
This lecture
Change
protocol
option
version 4
siya
and
pero
choose properties.
sa summary
And
sa
I'm gonna
340.
specify an IP address. So I'm gonna select I'm gonna select Internet
Nasa
Protocol
lagi
version
uncheck
4
sa
and
Ethernet properties.
choose properties. And I'm gonna uncheck
Katong guide.
IP version 6 since we're not using
Katong
that.
bago karon?
Tong sa 6 good tong guide. Nasa summary 3 minutes and 35.
IP version 6
Wala na
since
to
we're not using
nag-follow
that.
no
I'm gonna
uncheck.
select Internet Protocol version 4 and choose properties.
Lang 3 minutes.
And I'm gonna specify
3 minutes and
an IP address.
40.
So I'm gonna select use the following IP address. Okay, and we're just gonna give it 192.1.
not using that. I'm going to select Internet Protocol version 4 and choose properties.
Di mo gyapon na.
Try daw. Kaya mo ko na to gi-follow na steps.
Hit lang.
168.0 since that's what my NAT network is configured to. And I'm just going to assign it to .100. We could use anything except for .0 as the last subnet. We couldn't use it because that's the burden into the use. So mathematically understanding the subnet. For the default gate, a IP address here. It's not always .1. It could be .10 or .20, anything. It's like, where do you find this IP address? Remember, our domain, which join the domain, run IP config one more time.
Asa kita dapat Lord? Ay. Kailan ko kanin eh.
Kana ba? Wala akong kabalong ala dito bitaw.
Ito?
And I'm going to, now we're going to click on change adapter options at the bottom. And we'll right click on Ethernet and choose properties. And I'm going to uncheck IP version 6 since we're not using that. I'm going to select Internet Protocol version 4 and choose properties. And I'm going to specify.
Sakit to diri?
Daw. 10.10.10. Ang ba sa last number sa?
Hit lang. Then, ay, hala. Then, then, 5. Tapos, then, tapos,
Wait lang.
ay, alternate.
Ang alternate kay murag wala di wait lang. Murag wala tama din. Ayun na lang, 0-0 din ang alternate. Wala, blank na din, I mean.
Ay, scam juga ba?
Wala din naman. Na-uncheck na to mo, itong mga kuhan.
Oo. Lang. Sunod.
Tapos si Ping daw solve daw. Ang kuhan sa da, IP config sa da.
Yan lang.
Yeah, Ping na
Tama mo to, no?
And we can't use 5 broadcast. So this is 1, 4, excluding 10. So what I'm just going to use is that one time. If I press tab, it will auto-complete subnet mask. Now this is mathematically calculated data. Here's how you know what it is. Once you see that test server, that we are getting.
Happy config. Wait lang. La. Tay. Sunod. Oo ba?
So,
90
cut
version 4 address
Tama ko, wait lang.
192.168.0.100. Okay, so now we're on the same network. We could try and ping the domain controller, but the Windows firewall is going to block that on the domain controller. By default, you used to be able to ping for allowing ICMP plus. But now Microsoft blocks me. So if I try to ping 192.168.0.10, I'm going to get a reply here because I have enabled it, but more likely get a timeout. Basically what you're going to see. If I just try and ping it, this is not valid.
Okay. Sige daw. Okay na magkaroon.
Try daw. cccsf.com.
CCS.com.
Ang tanong.
Oh, sabi ko sa... Ay, gani. Tama, gani. Ada naman na alert. Domain. Nalilito.
Oo, pero.
What you're going to see something like this.
Lovely. Tara na, Ken.
Doing this.
Wala na kaya nag-loading man.
Hindi na ba?
Tama lagi
Ah.
na nag-loading man.
Ah,
Ayan.
shit.
No. Why? Tama ba itong domain, di ba?
Wait lang. Wait na.
Sige. Tara pa po na ito mga past chat na. Sila, story open. Okay.
Na-fix na. Ning ko na ding nagbagtek lang. Unsay sundan tong kuan tong
Medyo.
medyo tong admin or atong pangalan ibutan dito. Et na tansa na ko. Kasulod naman ta.
Administration, mangyapon guro. Admin na lang para sure.
Sure daw. Kasi admin na.
Lagi admin lagi.
Specify the correct DNS server, it also would not be able to resolve IT.com. So I'm going to type in administrator, and I'm going to type in the password for that account.
And I'm going
And
to
this
DNS.
account,
Administrator?
I'm going to
Administrator
type
ba
in the
dito?
It also
Say
would not be
password.
able to resolve
Ang
itfleet.com.
password kay
So
ay
I'm going to type
ang
in
password kay
administrator,
katong sa
and I'm going to type
pinakauna
in
guro.
the password for that account. And this account, if you
Pinakauna na to nga
remember,
kani
is the
sa server
account that
bitaw
we
kani sa
created
server Windows
when
server.
we installed Windows Server
Ra-
2016. So it's
Isla
our
tanan sa
domain.
nako.
Admin na po sa uban na ito.
CamileSalazar? Dili,
Ay,
CamileSalazar.
atong una na itong password, CamileSalazar. Kung una mo.
Dili ang username. Dili siya kuan.
Administrator mangyapon sa uban. Dako na eh.
Administrator. Ay. Tama ba?
Sige.
Ala, gi-okay pa sa dako. Ay, tama, alay.
Enter.
Wala.
Sige, na ang video.
Kita na bro.
Administrator
There
account.
na.
Don't need to do
Okay,
that.
you
Go to
restart.
So we're to fully load Windows Server 2016.
You restart na
Okay,
yan.
so I'll bring this over here. Again, I'm going to hit right administrator account. This is the same account we just used to log into the domain administrator account. This is the same account we just used to join the computer to the domain.
Skip lang
So
daw.
I select
Skip.
tools, Active Directory, user.
Ay, wala ko skip ulit lang.
Going to restart this PC.
Skip forward
na
Now
po.
I'm just going to hit skip.
Skip. I'm just
Don't
gonna
need to
hit
do that.
skip.
And now I'm going to choose
Skip.
restart.
Restart
lang.
now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hit skip and restart now.
Skip. And restart now. Lalo,
So now the computer is going to restart. So once the computer reboots, we're going to pop out of this computer and go over to our domain controller. So we'll just give it a second to fully load. Okay, so now the VM has powered back on.
Kung nag-load yata eh, pas kayo.
We're going to pop out of this computer and go over to our domain controller. We'll just give it a second to fully load. Okay, so now the VM has powered back on. This is the Windows 10 workstation. I'm going to hit Control and F, pop out of full screen mode, and now I'm going to minimize this Windows 10 VM, and I'm going to pop open my Windows Server 2016. This one right here. Yeah, I'm going to hit right.
Mana? Na-open na naman kayo?
Oo.
The person who's going to be using
Wala
the same
pa.
account we just used to open my Windows Windows Server
Mo naman to
2016.
no,
Out of
dili
this
na
This is the Windows
i-lag.
10 workstation. I'm going to hit Control
Tan
Open
open
my
yung kwan.
Windows Server 2016 VM.
Okay, so
Okay,
now
so I'll
the
bring this
VM
over
has
here.
powered
Again,
back
I'm going to hit
on
Right
to the
Control
Windows
Delete and
workstation. I'm going to hit
Active
Control
Directory users
F
and
to
computers.
pop out a full screen
On
mode. And now I'm going
computers,
to
which if
minimize
you
this
remember is the
window.
Napasay
default container
config
where
eh.
And I'm
computer
going to
accounts
pop
are
open
placed,
my
we
Napasay
can see that
config.
we have
Windows.
ITF WS01.
Itanaw
So
niya
now
ang
we could
kwan
drag
name
that to
sa
another
computer
organizational
katong
unit if we'd
gi-rename.
like. We can assign GPOs to this
Right control
computer.
delete.
We'll
And
get
I
more
will
into
log
that.
in.
Active Directory
Account is the same account we just used to run the video. Okay. If I select Tools, Active Directory, Users, and Computers, and if I expand itv.com and click on Computers, which if you remember is the default container where
Okay. So, ay wala ko, laton sa nato.
Itanaw nila computer name.
computer accounts are placed, we can see that we have
Ato ra, so dili nato ni log in. So balik ato ta dire. Yeah. Sa to?
Kwan, tools? Tools man eh.
Tools,
users.
day.
Tools. Wait lang. Yambak
App
lang po
pa.
ko ba?
So I'm going to hit Right Control and move the computer to the
minimize
domain.
this Windows
If
10
I select
Tools,
Tools,
and I'm going
Active
to pop
Active
open
Directory
Tools,
user. Active,
directory users
ana.
and computer.
here. Yeah, I'm going to hit right control and F and I
Directory users and computers.
hit right control and delete and I will log in.
Wait, na-open. Ito ra.
Account is the same account we just
Then, go to
And if I expand
if I select
itfleet.com
tools,
and click
Active
ITV,
Directory,
kana ccs.com, i-expand
on
and if I
computers,
expand
which
na
itv.com and
computers.
on computers, which if you remember is the
Click na
default
if you remember
computers.
is the
container
default
Tara.
container where
place,
computers
we can
Tara.
see that we
Tara.
have ITF WS01.
Wala na.
So,
So now we can drag
accounts are
mana ta?
placed.
We're done. 30 minutes.
those to this computer. We'll get more into that later on.
40 gidayo.
But for now,
Wala
that is
01
how you
lor.
join the workstation.
Wala, di maklaro.
Yeah, mana ta no?
Tapos na, we're done for the task stage. Thank
Task
you.
stage.
Stop na naman. 3, 2, 1.